I'm calling out for radical bravery. What I mean is, um, I find like it's incredibly brave to use social media and broadcast your life, broadcast your passions and your desires and your questions, your challenges, your problems, broadcast everything, all this vulnerability, all this honesty. It's good to talk about aspects of ourselves all across the spectrum, positive and negative, right? We can't all just be living a life of contentment and peace and perfect tranquility and joy. No, it's ludicrous. Most of us go through challenges, and it really helps to overcome those challenges, or at least at best, like, no, that's contradictory, but to just engage in other people and have that level of empathy, it's a form of love. And that love can transcend, it doesn't need to come from someone who you know and respect, like a family member or a partner. That love and empathy can come from the broad spectrum of all of human society. We can connect to each other and support each other. And that helps a lot. It can motivate and it can support and it can revolutionize. So all of that is super important to leverage, especially in these trying times, these pivotal times. We need to activate that kind of broad sharing, vulnerability, honesty, and connectivity. We need to encourage that to happen. And in order for that to happen, I think it requires radical bravery in the terms of putting yourself out there. Whatever you care about, whatever you want to say, put it out there. Right? And don't be ashamed. Don't feel scared. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel anything that's going to hold you back. I want everyone, including myself, to be the best versions of themselves. And the truer I am to myself, publicly, openly, with utter vulnerability and acceptance of what is, that ties in with following up with just putting everything out there, radically, bravely. Because I think it's incredibly brave to put yourself out there like that. And we've come from, my age group anyway, has definitely come from the tail end of a society that just is very reserved. You keep everything personal. You hold all the cards in your hand and you don't show your hand. Social media, sharing in general on a global scale, for each individual to just do that. I think we're having to evolve past that mindset, that very limiting mindset, that old power mindset. And we're all across the board, in general, we're moving towards the new power, the new mindset. Abundancy over scarcity. And I think for old patterns to die, new ones must take their place first. And it takes will and dedication, discipline, determination to carry out what you want instead, what you prefer, what you've been holding inside of you for as long as you can remember. And that's only for as long as you've been aware. What if you are still completely unaware of so many other crucially important aspects of yourself that you are neglecting? Or issues that you've been wanting to get off your chest because you feel that they are so important in the world and you want to manifest whatever it takes to, help that. I'm going off on a tangent, okay, but it comes down to this. I think I know I've been holding myself back tremendously. And when I imagine in my mind being radically brave and putting myself out there on social media and just broadcasting things, trying to fight the urge at all times to not over edit, not over analyze, not over, self scrutinize. Because ultimately, if the goal is allowing myself to make a radical change, if that's what it takes, and I think that's what it takes, for me anyway. I don't know about others, but, we're all archetypes here. I think a lot of people can relate, especially if they followed my journey. I mean, I'm creating some kind of cohesive crowd. Or not. Or this is just all in going into the ether and no one's picking up on it. Whatever. I'm doing it for me. Ultimately, I'm doing it for me. I want change in my life, and I want my empowered life to enact greater change in my experience, my outer experience as well. So I want to reflect. So I want to both reflect and be a reflection of greatness and beauty and honor and love, connection, everything positive like that. Don't we all? I mean, let's not try and put it into certain words, but yeah, we do. If we are honest with ourselves of our positive intent as opposed to negative. Anyway, yeah, using a tool like bravery, but making it radical. And the reason I say radical is because when people think of bravery, they think of, I don't know, let's say, jumping in front of an obstacle if it's about to really hurt someone else. Being a hero, that's seen as having a lot of bravery, right? Usually. Maybe... Yeah, I can't think of anything else right now. I think being a hero kind of sums it up for me, what bravery means. The thing is, I think if you were to now think about how brave it is to put yourself out there on social media, just because you want to stop hiding yourself, and you want to share with the world what you care about and what's been on your mind, what you've been feeling. You're just doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for adoration. You're not doing it for you're not doing it for anyone else but you. And so if you allow yourself the perspective to justify going on social media and putting all yourself out there, it's allowing yourself a diary. Treating your social media account, your personal one, not relating to business. I'm talking about personal accounts. If you have a personal brand account, that works too. Just depends on, how open you want to be, how unfiltered you want to be. Because when you choose this course, there are obviously boundaries of what you can and cannot say and share on social media. That they have their rules, and as long as you play by their rules, I think that's a good way to go. There's your boundaries. But otherwise, yeah, be honest. Be radically honest. And it takes a huge amount of bravery to be radically honest. So instead of starting off with saying radically honest and vulnerable also, there are other words to tag on, but I just landed with bravery because really it also changes people's perception of the word bravery, what it means to them, because it can absolutely represent this as well, not just being a hero. It takes great braveness to put yourself out there and be yourself. And I think that journey has to happen in a very short space of time, to be honest. I think we all need to go down that journey. Start. If you haven't started, do it straight away. And if you have already started, like I have, you need to utilize the tools that's around you, because they may have been a source of stress and anxiety in you so far, because you've been treating them as you pandering to the rest of the world, right? You putting yourself out there to be judged and stuff. And of course that's scary, but if you allow yourself to put out with radical honesty and vulnerability and just genuine, this is me, and I'm going to just do what I love and say what I feel for myself. And if you want to follow, if you want to listen, if you want to connect, you're welcome. Come along. And we all do that. It will be so utterly liberating. And I think that will create a complete movement. I mean, it will catapult what we've already got. The levels of engagement across all of the social media platforms, all across the web. We've been connecting with each other. The thing is, it's been predominantly in the negative spectrum, in the selfish and self-interested, belittling, all that ego shit. I want to, in a fell swoop, kind of radicalize a lot of things so that we shake things up. People are awakened to different directions that they would try to go next, they'll prefer to go down. And let's just radicalize everything, not for the sake of chaos. This is quite the opposite. I want to enact radical change in the vibrational frequencies of, more positivity, right? Higher thinking stuff.